I was streaming today and I asked my chat for some video ideas, and I got a video suggestion by Kenny K, who suggested this. He said, can you make a list of the top 10 best decks? And then he asked again of the top 10 best cards. So I'm like, why not combine both of them together? And this is going to be a list, as you can read from the title, of the top 10 best cards that I like. Maybe change that up. So starting off on the list, we have at number 10, Beaver Warrior. Now, looking at this card, you might be going like, Beaver Warrior, why is he on here? The reason Beaver Warrior is on here is because he has the highest attack of any monster in the game. I'm just kidding. No, that's not it. No, it's because of a YouTuber. When I barely started like playing Yu-Gi-Oh, the YouTuber's name was Asianized. I think he goes by Sladra now. And he made this video called Beaver Warrior OTK, where he like boosted up Beaver Warrior to have like 1 million attack. Like in theory, I think it ended up having like 100,000 attack, like something outrageous. And it was so weird and goofy and funny that me and my friends would like make jokes about it, like, oh man, he's running Beaver Warrior, he's gonna do Beaver Warrior OTK and stuff like that. So that card really does have a place in my heart. I think it's an extremely funny card. And the next card that is pretty important to me is at number 9, MST. Now MST is Mystical Space Typhoon. The reason this card is important to me is not because of its like how good it was in the meta like throughout its whole lifetime, is mainly because when I played Yu-Gi-Oh, we had a group of friends who would call themselves Team MST. And during the time, being in a Yu-Gi-Oh team was like popular. Like a lot of people did it. I think people still do it. I don't really know. But Team MST was their name, and their slogan was MST Negate. And I thought it was really funny because when people play Yu-Gi-Oh for the first time and they use a card like Mystical Space Typhoon, they think that it can negate an opponent's spell or trap. It doesn't do that. That's not how it works. But they think it does. And I have seen funny videos where people get into like judge calls and they say, I used Mystical Space Typhoon and I tried to negate his monster and it didn't work. And at number 8, we got Magical Cylinder. Magical Cylinder is on this list simply because I had a friend, we'll call him Crow, and he played Magical Cylinder in his decks. And everyone in our friend group knew he played Magical Cylinder. And as soon as he said a card, we probably could guess from his body language it was Magical Cylinder. So that card is just really like fun to me because like every time I dueled, and I usually dueled him like every day, like I expected that card to be in every duel, and usually sometimes it was game defining. So that's why it's on the list. Now further down on the list is cards and decks that I actually like really enjoy myself. So at number 7, we're gonna have Double Fin Shark. Now just looking at this card, it's not like, it's not that good. You can special summon a level 4 water from your graveyard. The reason I liked it is because at the time that I played with this card, it was in a water XYZ. You like spam out Bahamut Shark and you bring out this like rank 3 and you overlay onto this like rank 4. But pretty much it was when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, like every day. After school I would play, during school I would play. Dude, I was addicted. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was one of the decks that I played the most of. Like really, and I wanted to own the card so bad, but they were OCG for like so many years, and I think only recently they came out into the TCG, but by then I wasn't playing the game anymore. At number 6, we got Dragon Ruler support. So cards will be Mythical Water Dragon, Tree Dragon, Card Trooper, that little, I think it's Whitestone Legend, it searches you with blue eyes. I love Dragon Rulers, and these cards made Dragon Rulers like really good, and they were cheap too. I think they were like commons and like rares, and dude, you could literally like pick up these cards for like less than $5. And to me, I was like, that was a dream come true. I could play a really fun deck for super cheap. That's why these cards are really important to me. At number 5, it's Pendulum Magicians. Now, I never used this deck in real life. It wasn't a deck that like I was really fond of. I played a lot of it. The reason it's here is because when I first started my YouTube channel, like taking it like more seriously, making more videos, I made a video on Pendulum Magicians. It was my first Master Duel video, and it did fairly well in my opinion. I was really happy with it, and I was just like, I love this deck. I did a series on it, just taking it all the way to the top. I did a bunch of videos about like new cards, adding it, making it better. I love the deck. As you can see in the gameplay, like this deck just means a lot to me. It's probably, in my opinion, the cheapest, best deck in all of Master Duel, just because you can do so much with it. So that's why it's at number 5. It means a lot to me. It's a really good deck. And number 4 is Aratama Nikitama Ghost Trick. This deck was originally run by a guy named Jeff Jones, and I think he ran it in like around the time that Silent Honor Arc and Execution Knight came out. I don't remember what the set was called, but this deck was just so cool. Like I saw and I was like, wait, that looks cool. Like you normal summon a spirit, you add a spirit. Now in today's world, in today's Yu-Gi-Oh world, that's not very fast. It's pretty slow actually. But I mean, back then that was crazy. I remember playing with my friends and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna normal summon this monster. It's gonna give me another monster, and I just had so much advantage. To me, it blew my mind how it was a super cheap deck and it was super fun. And it wasn't really meta, but it could compete at a meta level. I guess you call that rogue. That was like one of my favorite decks of all time, but it wasn't my favorite. Now number 3 is going to be an interesting one. It's not a deck, it's a group of cards actually. We got Toriental, Bottomless Trap Hole, Compulse, Solemn Warning, and Dark Hole. You may already notice if you played Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot during the 2015-14 era, is that these cards were all limited 1, which means that they were staples. Yes, we didn't have Ash Blossom back then. A lot of people like in the meta scene or just like for fun just ran Toriental, Bottomless, Compulse, Solemn, and Dark Hole. They're really good cards, like genuinely really good cards. They're almost in every single deck. And it was just cool because like you knew an opponent had it, and so you had to play around it every single game. And I think that's why I fell in love with Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it was kind of like, man, does he have this card? Does he have the out? It was almost like GOAT format, and how you almost knew what your opponent was playing, but you didn't know quite what they had in their hand. And that was just really fun. I love that kind of gameplay. And number 2 is Darkness Metal Dragon. Now, it's not on the list because I played it when it was at 3 and it was full power, and you can like special summon before the errata. No, I just think it looks cool. I think Red Eyes is a cool looking monster, especially like the movie promo structure deck one. I don't remember what it's called, Red Eyes Darkness Dragon. I think that card looks so cool. It sucks that it's like completely unplayable. Darkness Metal Dragon was kind of like the in-between, where it looked cool and it was playable. And I love dragons, so this card was literally the boss, the GOAT dragon. It was so cool, and it came in like my first structure deck I ever bought, which was like the light and dark structure deck for dragons. It's always gonna have a place in my heart. I even love it to this day. I'm so glad it's off the ban list in Master Duel because I want to put it in some dragon decks and just have fun. Now number 1, it's Dragon Rulers. Yes, all 4 Dragon Rulers. I want these cards off the ban list. I don't know why they're on there. I understand why they're on there, but come on, Konami, take them off. These cards are amazing. They're so cool. And I remember, I didn't play with them when they were full power. 3, you had baby rulers, everything in your deck. Nah, I played with them when you had 1 Dragon Ruler each. That's it. No babies, nothing. I think 7 Swords was like at 1 or whatever. It's just this deck was so cool because I could run a bunch of dragon monsters, which I like dragon monsters. And suddenly my dragon deck, which was like before it was like incompetent and weak, became like really threatening and strong because I had these big boss monsters which had incredible synergy with my deck, and they had like a multitude of effects and I could search each one like at like will. It was crazy. It's my favorite deck of all time, favorite cards of all time. I love it so much. But that's it for my list. What's your list? I'm curious to know what is your favorite decks or your favorite cards. If you feel interested, write a comment. I'll be sure to read it. And besides that, thanks for watching the video. Hope you have a great day or night, and I'll catch you later. Peace.